Okay, and today we review this guy and this guy. I got these for my birthday just over a week ago, and they do come in this lovely little box. Look, it's Age of the Primes, Carnivac, and Fisitron. Yeah, we'll get to that. But genuinely, this is why I've got the unboxing a couple of days early, because I wanted to review these. That's what it is. So we'll go over these. First of all, we'll start with Fisitron. This is G2 Iron Fist, which I believe was a European exclusive. It was one of like the Viewmaster things, or whatever they were called, Light Masters, something like that. Where this part was originally as big as the rest of the vehicle, and you could look through it, and I think it had a gimmick where as that drove around or something, or as you turned this, the barrel popped in and out like it's firing. It wasn't the craziest thing in the world, and it was this lovely peach colour. This is not a lovely peach colour. This is what they did with that toy character, whatever, kind of, for the Last Stand of the Wreckers. Well, one of the last stand. It was the one where they took on Overlord. I've got the buckets downstairs. And he looked a lot more like this robot mode. I can't remember what the vehicle mode looked like. I remember it being like overly Cybertronian and chunky. This is a lot more slimmed down, but I appreciate it a lot more. And he's just this lovely little armoured vehicle with this really iconic like Viewmaster thing on top, which completely 360s. You can take it off. It looks very bare if you do, but you can. And yeah, this breaks into component parts. I don't care. We'll worry about that more for robot mode. But legitimately, absolutely adore this little thing. And then we have Carnivac. Okay. I have Titan's Return Weird Wolf. I have an oversized Voyager Titan's Return Weird Wolf. I'm done with Weird Wolf. Weird Wolf, I have enough. This is better. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the colours. I don't know if it's little tweaks they've done to it. But I absolutely adore this thing. I can't even tell you why. Just love it. I don't know if it's just the better weapon. Just something about this really hits me in a certain way. Here he is with his gun on top and different tail sword, I believe, because I'm pretty sure the Weird Wolf one's huge. And he's just lovely. And they've painted like half the face to try and do that weird mono visor thing that Carnivac had. And he's just lovely. And if you open this, take the weapon off and open this up, you get something that the original didn't have, and that's this little headmaster dude, who they've simply named Survivor. He's nice enough. He's a little headmaster dude. What do you want me to say? I'll leave these off for now, just to do the size comparison. So where are we? I love this thing. I don't know why. Give me a second. Speedy blur. So deluxes. This is possibly a big one, but it's weird shape. So deluxes, which we already knew. Transformer. We'll do him first. I don't have Hound. I've got an oversized Siege Hound, which isn't great. I don't have detritus. I don't have any. I should get detritus, but you know. So you can leave this on to transform. You don't need to do anything fancy. We're going to come here and we're going to just pop these pieces loose. They just tab in, if they tab in. Sometimes the tabs let go, but we'll untab those. We will come to the back here. We will wiggle this loose again, if it hasn't already. We'll come to these wheel arches at the front, and we'll come underneath and we'll just try and pop these loose, which is possibly the hardest part of the whole transformation, because I'm pretty sure I'm pushing on the wrong bit. There we go. And it's popped off. Boom. Never done that before, just so you know. This peg just goes onto that, so never done this before. Do apologise. This is... You on? Yeah, right, good. Get that loose. Okay. Now we have to wriggle these individually and get all this past here, which I don't like. And if you've seen my oversized review of the oversized Siege Hound, I'll just leave that off for a minute. If you've seen that review, you know I don't like that sort of thing. I like to do all this nice and tidy and together, but it won't let you, so there's nothing I can do about it. At which point we can get these, which are on this blue piece, to a hinge there. Rotate them out to the side. you can bring this panel down, raise all that up, and there he's done. Alright, fine. We're going to get these, and we're going to make sure the toes are straight, because they should be. Rotate this around, and you just bring it up so that this little raised piece goes into that gap. I'm sure all pegs in there somewhere, but it works. It's quite nice. Get around and bend. I've tightened some of these hinges. Sometimes they don't bend as loosely as I'd like, but then it's not as floppy as it potentially was. These pieces go onto these giant tabs there. Lock it in. Lock it in. Get this back piece, rotate it underneath, and then there's, where am I? This little tab that goes into that little slot there. So you rotate it down, you line it up. And is that in place? Roughly, yeah, that'll do. And there he is, pretty much in roller mode. And the head is adorable. It's pretty much bob on. It might be a bit rounder, but I appreciate that. I like it being rounder. He's just more of a more simplified version of the Wreckers one. The Wreckers one was bigger and chunkier and had other bits, which I didn't like. That's not my preference. I prefer these nice little sleeker ones. And yeah, he's got this, which you can take off, and you can pull the gun off and stick it in his hand. You can take that and use it as a shield, and use the other bit as a backpack. Or you just mount it on the arm, or do whatever you want. If I go in, there you go. But to be honest with you, I don't remember this guy actually. I don't remember him actually doing any fighting or anything, really. So I just like leaving it on his back and just looking at him, thinking he's pretty. Honestly, I just like the look of this figure. He's really nice. Little ankle tilts, and honestly, I just like him as is. As stupid as it is, I really like the look of him. Okay, so we'll go to Carnivac. Right, good. We'll pull the tail off. If you've got Weird Wolf, you know how this transforms. Open up the panel. I'm going to straighten the legs out a bit. And then we need to wriggle this loose and get it so that these tabs go from these slots to those slots. Get them over to there. Drop that back down. Straighten the leg out. Rotate this over, which is every single animal transformer, so this big tab goes into that slot. Doesn't always go in perfectly, but it does go in. Turn the foot around, flip out this little toe bit, there we go. Straighten it out, do that. Tab it in, rotate it around, flip this out, bring the arm down, rotate this around, bring the paw bit underneath, open up this panel, which I've had to floor polish because these basically popped off, they were that loose. Not floor polish, joint tightener, there we go. Rotate around, fold it underneath, lift that up, open that out, bring that down, straighten it up, get the head, fold it over, and then we need to find a survivor. There he is. And straighten the arm out, double hinge over, blah blah blah, you know how these work by now, and just shove it at the top. And yeah, it's about right, isn't it? I don't know, these guys, they're supposed to be like Wreckers and Mayhem Attack Force or whatever it is, and they just look really cuddly and friendly. I don't know what it is about it, they just really amuse me. Put that in that hand. This has got a weird little tab sticking out of it. I don't know if that's to keep it straight when you put it in as the tail, but it's just something to keep an eye on when you, if I can find the hand, there it is. Straight out. And just, I you know what, really like it. Really like these. I don't know what it is. Size comparison. Speedier blur, not speedier, 8.6 blur. So the deluxe is reasonably good sizes. And absolutely love them to bits. I do, genuinely. So, I know it's a bit late, it's been over a week or whatever, but thank you to my daughter for getting this for me for my birthday. And yeah, I'm going to scarp it because it's dinner time. Okay, so I should be ugly, I should be wretched. I shall see all of you in the next one. Toodaloo.